Good morning. Today we're going to be having a look at similar figures, which is very close to what we were doing yesterday when we were looking at enlarging and reducing. So if you have a look at the diagrams here, we've got two photos, and one's the original shape or the original size, but the other one's an enlargement. And so these figures are similar figures because they have all the same things in them. They've got the same boat and the paddles and the people, but one is an enlargement of the other and one is a reduction of the other. And so because they're in the same proportions, they're called similar figures. So the scale factor of two similar figures will be the same, which is what keeps them in proportion. So if we were to have enlarged this photo just upways, then we would have stretched all the people up and we would have stretched the kind of the paddles and the boat up this direction, but not widthways. Everything would be out of proportion. So what keeps it in proportion is that you've got the same scale factor on every single facet of the diagram. So you have to work out what the scale factor is on diagrams, and that can be a little bit tricky, but what I want you to think about when we're doing these are your times tables. So in our question here, it says, what is the scale factor from the smaller photo to the larger photo? So it says here, our original measurement is 6 centimetres and it ends up being 9 centimetres. And we need to work out here the scale factor times what gives us 9 centimetres. So I want you to think back to your times table. So if we were doing 6 times what equaled 12, we know that 6 times 2 equals 12, but how you get it is you say 12 divided by 6. So in this question here, we're going to say scale factor equals 9 divided by 6. So in our second example, or part B I should say, we need to find the scale factor from the larger photo to the smaller photo. So we're going from 9 centimetres to 6 centimetres. And we need to work out what we're multiplying by to get there. Now, when we were looking at our multiplication before, we said that if it was 6 times what equaled 12, we would do 12 divided by 6. So it's our end number, if you like, divided by the first number. So we're going to do here scale factor equals 6 divided by 9. And when you pop that in your calculator, you're going to get that that equals 2/3. So if you want to go from the larger figure to the smaller figure, you're going to have to multiply each of your lengths by 2/3. So if you have a look here in example 2, we've got triangles ABC and RQP are similar. So we have to work out the scale factor from the smaller triangle to the larger triangle. So find a pair of sides that match, and it looks like we're probably going to use these ones here, okay, between the right angle and the dot, and we're going from the smaller triangle to the larger triangle. So we're going from 4.8 up to 24, and we need to, so if you have a look, each time we did these in the first example, we took the end number divided by the first number. So we're going to do scale factor equals 24, because that's what we end up at, divided by 4.8. If you pop that in your calculator, you're going to get 5. So we've got a scale factor of 5. To get from here across to here, we are going to multiply by 5. So it says calculate the length of PR that's this length over here, PR. In our original triangle, it was 7.3, but if we need to enlarge it to this triangle, we need to multiply that by 5. And when we do that, pop it in your calculator, and you're going to get 36.5. Then it says how long is side BC, so that's this length here, BC, and it matches with 27.5. So we need to go this way. So a bit like when we do our changing units, if we go this way and enlarge, we times by 5. If we get smaller, we're going to divide by 5. So we need to do 27.5 divided by 5 because we've gone and gotten smaller. If you pop that in your calculator, you're going to get 5.5. Have a look over this. I want you to try exercise 1201. That's in our textbook. And if you've got any problems, then you can send me a message through on Google Classroom.